for the Cowboys, winning the 2001 NCAA title as a senior.
Mark Munoz, number 6 ranked sophomore from Vallejo, California, versus number 2, Cael Sanderson. He just keeps climbing the ladder, Dan. Undefeated, 22-0.
Fresh comes right at you. They're already on the ref. Cyclone fans, they want some winners. And they've got a couple here young, and they got more than that, but a couple undefeated ones that they're going to see a lot more of. So, you know, they get pretty vocal when one of those boys get out there, Heskett or Cael Sanderson.
If you've just joined us, we're in the last match of the evening between the meet of Oklahoma State and Iowa State. We're here at Hilton Coliseum. We're at 184 pounds, where Oklahoma State's number 6 ranked Mark Munoz is going up against number 2 ranked Cael Sanderson, undefeated freshman for the Cyclones. The score is Oklahoma State 24, Iowa State 10. We're at the last match with Cael Sanderson trying to keep his record perfect to 23-0, but he's got to go up against a highly ranked wrestler in Munoz.
Doing a good job of playing that edge. Doing a good job, but Munoz is keeping the far ankle. But, boy, he's got some long arms. He hasn't given no points yet. No, the crowd's getting a little upset, but right, well, not. It's a good call so far. Unless you want to call him for fleeing the mat, which he really isn't. But you get a home call, maybe.
Well, they call nothing. They bring him back to the center. Cael Sanderson, who was a 4-time state champion in Utah, was also named the nation's top prep wrestler at 171 pounds by Amateur Wrestling News in 1997. Proving it out, this is a great investment by Bobby Douglas for getting the Sanderson family. That was a great home call he made a few years ago when he first brought Cody to town.
Certainly. You got to zero in on those older ones if they got younger ones coming up, if they're pretty good.
I'm sure just a few years ago everybody knew who Cael Sanderson was. That must have been quite a high school team that Steve Sanderson was coaching when all 3 of them were on the team at the same time. It's 2-0 takedown for Cael Sanderson.
He gets right in on that heavy foot, hangs for just a second and reaches for the far one, picking it up, comes around the waist. Munoz looked like kind of gave up the whizzer there. I didn't really figure that one out.
Would you explain what heavy foot? Does he have one shoe that weighs more than the other, or what? I mean, what's a heavy foot?
You mean you got your weight on your heels instead of on your toes, and instead of being in motion, you're flat-footed and just a lot of weight. You shouldn't have a lot of weight on your feet when you're wrestling. You should have motion and bounce, and be ready to move. And if the guy shoots, you pick your leg up and react. And it's a good job of shooting, but at the same time, it was not a good job of reacting by Munoz.
Dan Gable, my partner and expert commentator here, giving you his reasons for Cael Sanderson's success on his feet right there, catching Munoz for a 2-point takedown.
Cradle him up.
Whoa, and that's tight, Dan.
And he's got him. Boy, I'll tell you, he threw that thing quick. This is what we're talking about. There's a possibility. There's not much time left. He got him over a little bit far, but if he could just roll it back. And he slipped off.
Was able to slip through right there.
This is tough. He slammed that on there. I mean, he wasn't out of position, but 1/10 of a second, he slammed that cradle on.
Here we go again.
Yeah, here it is. He comes up. Boom. He takes that head right to the knee. Doesn't take any time at all. Stacks him right up, and he's looking for that fall. Gets a little bit far over, and he has to come back, and that's what cost him probably from getting the pin. Hanging down, riding those, ankles, not getting too high, and moving up and giving the intention of release, actually. Another shot right back in. He's not really setting up his shot. He's shooting when Munoz is moving backwards. That's why he's not actually penetrating as well. You want to get the guy coming to you, but I tell you can't take anything away from him just because he doesn't use a correct setup. He makes up for what he doesn't do correctly by just hustling and getting after it.
Boy, he gets after it. He's a hard get-after-it type of wrestler. He's one of those that some wrestlers you hang around and it's not that tough to wrestle. You may get beat bad, but they're not that tough to wrestle. This would be a tough 7 minutes, Cael Sanderson, no matter who you are.
Not only that, but you win the referee over because you just don't have a lot of time to breathe with him, and you got to stay on top of your game.
Go neutral.
He's already lost a point for stalling. I know Oklahoma State wasn't real happy about the call, but Sanderson made 2 or 3 shots in a row, and that's how you get a stalling call, when you do 2 or 3 things in a row, or 4 or 5, or whatever you need. Just get it done.
It's techniques and tactics, right?
Exactly. You want to win somebody over, you prove them that you're doing what they want to see to make that call.
Cael Sanderson up 6-1. A minute left in the second period. We're at Hilton Coliseum. Iowa State, Oklahoma State dual meet. Cowboys ranked #1 in the country, and they're going to leave #1 in the country. Iowa State ranked #4. Some good things have happened for the Cyclones tonight in this loss. Their freshmen are wrestling well. Joe Heskett stayed undefeated, and Cael Sanderson here, another undefeated freshman, on his way to the NWCA All-Star meet as well, leading the Cyclone charge, but it came up short tonight. But they're trying to make it a little bit closer in this last match. It's 24-10. Oklahoma State leading in the final match.
Don't forget about Cael Sanderson. He had a great victory over Reggie Wright, undefeated wrestler for Oklahoma State at 149.
Yep, that was a big match that Cael Sanderson won tonight. There's an attempt by Munoz to score.
Not a good call. He wiped it off. He wiped it off.
You know, here's from the dual stand, the same 2 wrestling, and Anderson beating Munoz. There you go. So he's been flat-footed both times.
And Credo's him up there again.
Deciding to start the third period and letting Sanderson to his feet so they can go from the feet. He doesn't want to be on the mat with Sanderson. Sees no reason to be there because he can't turn him.
That was a good move there, but Munoz come out of it. Doing a good job of squaring those hips. Trying to get an angle there. Sanderson's doing a good job of continuing to square into him, stay square, because if you let the guy get an angle there, could be in trouble.
Break it.
Close matches, both ways, going both ways through this meet. This is the last match, and with things going a little bit differently for the Cyclones, this could have been the meet decider right here. But Oklahoma State found ways to make it different. At heavyweight, they had a big pin early in the meet, and then they were able to win the close one against Maldonado. Oklahoma State was, and they right now lead 24-10. As a team, they're going to win their 60th straight dual meet.
Yeah, the way it looked like, I felt like this could have been the match that decided the meet if some breaks went Iowa State's way. And guys like this, he's making his breaks. He's right back in on that low shot, and he gave him a takedown, Thought that was a good call. He had it for about a half a second there, and then Munoz pulled his leg out, but you don't need him too much.
Well, and what you're saying, Dan, is that the takedown was there. He just may have been a split second late in indicating it, but it didn't mean that the takedown wasn't there. So he went ahead, he called what was right, and a good call by Bill Rose, the official. It takes a good official to not let the crowd intimidate him from making right calls or waving off wrong calls.
He's got a major.
Center.
Got riding time. He's got a minute 43 riding time with only 15 seconds to go in the match. This would give Iowa State another 4 points.
Here's Munoz trying to keep it from being a major. If he can get the takedown there, but he's not going to be able to. A major decision gives 4 more points for Iowa State. 24-14, the final score between the Oklahoma State Cowboys and the Iowa State Cyclones here at Hilton Coliseum. That's a big win for Cael Sanderson. Goes 23-0 over number 6 ranked Mark Munoz. So an excellent wrestler from the Cowboys goes down.